Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, The Beginnings of Science. Today is actually a special episode. It is commemorating the 45th anniversary of the Apollo moon landing. That's right, on Sunday, July the 20th, 1969, the first man walked on the moon. And that is kind of why I wanted to make this episode on Sunday, just to commemorate that. And as such, there's only one way to do that. We're going to use the Kerplapo 11. And we have Laudry, Lobdell, and Shepardus Kerman. We're also going to change the flag for this one. That way we can commemorate the launching of this mission. So let's go ahead and go to the launch pad and start this. Now one thing you're going to notice is this is an enormous ship. If it loads. This is quite large. Quite large indeed. Turn on my fancy lights. Now we do have the escape tower, and that is actual functional. And actually, I need to check one thing before I go. I need to check my... I'll probably cut this out. Or no, I'll leave this in. Oh, cute, plane flying overhead. Toggle ladder. Toggle more solar panels. Which solar panels are you? You are... Which ones? You are those ones. Okay, so 3 and 2 are for the lander. 1 is for that. 4 is that. 10 is... the Clampatron. Okay. Now let's just go back, make sure. Save. Now we'll launch. Now I'm going to cut out majority of this launch up until we're near atmosphere. Mostly because we have seen this before. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. Up and up and up and up it goes. We really don't need this open now. And I'll meet up with you guys when I'm about to losing my train of thought here. When I'm about to stage off the 6 outer rings. So I'll see you then. Okay, and now we are back. As you can see, we're starting to get lower on fuel. We're starting to balance out our angle of attack. Hopefully this time when I discharge it doesn't have what happened before, which you guys will not have seen. Let's go ahead and... bring ourselves flatter. Away they go. Now we'll go ahead and let ourselves coast. Coast up to a nice high apoapsis. And since we're up this high, we can go ahead and stage off that. Because we no longer need it. Ooh. And then I'll wait until we're out of the atmosphere to fire up our solar panels. Because at some point we're going to need power. And we are up and over, so we can go ahead and open up our solar panels. Now really, I can drop this at any point, but I want to get this high enough out of the... or get our periapsis high enough that we can do the next part of the mission. So we'll wait until we're about 100 kilometers up. Go ahead and give it some time warpage. Okay. Let's go ahead and point ourselves a little bit further down from that prograde marker. And we'll now wait. Give ourselves a little bit more time, and then we can go ahead and do the next part. But you'll notice that this engine here isn't on here. It's on here. That's because, if I remember my history correctly, the LEM, which was the crew part, had to do a maneuver where it came forward, flipped around, and then rehooked to the lander. I could be wrong on that, but of course this was all in a nice neat fairing all the way down through the rocket. Well, I don't have fairings obviously, and I wasn't really going to build a fancy one out of panels and try to do it that way. I figured this was close enough to an approximation of what it was. I could be wrong though. Okay, we'll start our next burn now. Go ahead and kick it all the way up to full throttle. And now, oops, let's go into free mode here. There we go. Now that we've done that, we can do this, which is stage this off, which will burn back up into the atmosphere. And then we'll just take and thrust ourselves forward. And now we'll scroll in. Going to toggle that torque off and toggle this torque off. And we are going to decouple the node. Now there is that one little piece there. There's no getting around it. I haven't figured out how to control from here. Set as target. There we are. And we should be... There we are. We are attached. Go ahead and turn off the RCS tanks. Now the one thing I like to do is bring this engine down since it's staged. And that way it's firing on its own without launching off this engine or these chutes or decoupling massive amounts of parts. Now then, now that we are here, we'll put everything we've got into our Oh, okay, I see why. I was trying to figure out why that was looking like it was over my head. Put a little more into our periapsis. Put a lot more into our periapsis. And I'm going to go ahead and cut and just fix this orbit so that way you're not seeing that. Because you've seen me do this before. One thing I am going to do, and I'd recommend doing this with all ships that are docked, disable crossfeed. Because you'll start draining from this tank first, then this tank. So we'll go ahead and disable it. And I'll catch you up when we're about ready to do our MUN insert, well, I'll probably do it when we're getting near MUN. And we are back, and now we're starting our MUN orbit, getting ready to do that burn. As you can see, we're coming in. We've got roughly about a 2.5 minute burn. And even though that doesn't look like we have a lot of fuel for it, this is actually probably going to be more than enough to get into a stable orbit and return with the craft. So we'll get ready to do our insertion. Delete unclose. And go ahead and throttle all the way up to max. Now, unfortunately, my landing site is going to be it'll be on the dark side right now, so I will have to do the landing after one full rotation of the planet, or one rotation of MUN. But of course I'll cut that out, so that way you guys aren't too bored with it. I picked out what I thought would be a pretty special a nice little spot to land in. Someplace I was very close to landing at the first time I came to MUN. So if you want to sneak peek at that, you can stop here and go back to the first MUN landing, which is episode 5, part 2, I do believe. Okay, we're getting closer. And we need to get this down further. I'd like to get this down to around 100,000 if I can. Make sure we're not taken from any of these. Shouldn't be taken from the outside ones because those ones aren't actually attached to anything. And kill it. So we're at 136,000 meters by 23. Not a perfect orbit, but for what it needs to be. Yeah, right now our landing spot looks to be on the dark side. So I'm going to cut and let this rotate around a few times. Okay, time for one other little thing. We need Ladri Kerman to exit. And we need Shepherdess Kerman. To so we'll go ahead and turn on, we'll toggle the torque, and undock. We'll control from here. And extend out our solar panels. Turn on our computer to give us a little bit of okay, so we'll set up our maneuver node out here. Oops. And we'll start plotting our descent right there. Go ahead and get rid of that alarm. Add one for... Oops, no we won't. Because we have one other thing we need to do. We need to rename this. Rename vessel, lander, the KSA Seagull. Okay, let's go ahead and get ourselves into position. And now we can go ahead and add that alarm. Let's see here. Go ahead and just make it for a minute and we'll play it by eye. Actually, no we won't. We'll do this. Drop an F5. We'll go ahead and hit space. Space again. Deactivates these 4 outer rings. And it's an 8-second burn. So we'll go ahead and set that alarm for 10 seconds before. And we'll go ahead and time warp up. Just want to make sure that... Okay, he should be fine. There's a nice shot of Kerbin. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, I forgot to turn out my... Extend. Extend. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, okay. And we'll call that good. Okay. So we want to set a maneuver here. And we'll add an alarm for 1 minute before. And now mainly I just want to watch this come around. And hopefully we will clear pretty much everything. Although I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Let's go ahead and rotate so up is up and down is down. Get the seasickness motion going. And we'll just continue to free fall. This should be on the... Okay, this will just be cresting the bright side of the moon. Or moon. I guess it's a moon. Okay, so if that's there... Let's go ahead and... do that. Delete on close. Now I'm trying to do this by eye. However, I have a bad feeling that we are going to be coming awful close to the ground. So let's do this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dang it. I hate being in that mode. Ah, no. Oh no, I didn't. I think I did. Well, I overshot what I wanted to go for. By quite a ways. Okay, we're going to try to get close to where we wanted to be. This probably isn't exactly the safest thing to be doing. And there's where I wanted to be. At the Mun Arch. All the way back to where it all started. There it is. Take a crew report. No, did I put a transmission? No, I didn't. Take an EVA report. Okay. We didn't really need to take an EVA report. Get back inside there. Take a crew report. Keep that report. We'll extend out. Oops. We'll extend out our ladder. And we'll do one other thing. We'll take a nice shot out the window. So, if you enjoyed the episode, please hit that like button. Comment as always. Of course, there will be annotations at the very end. And until next time, guys, have fun.